Victor Wembanyama is a basketball sensation who has every coach in the NBA ready to fight tooth and nail to get him on their team. He's a 7'4" prodigy, and most people are claiming he's going to be even better than LeBron James. If you'd like to hear more about this latest piece of NBA news, be sure to stick around till the end of the video. Let's get right into it. First up, how's Wembanyama doing now? The French superstar showcased why he's so deserving of the #1 spot in the 2023 draft. Once again, following his win over Limoges on Saturday, he put up yet another dominant performance and showed the world what he does best: destroy. He does it with such grace too. It's quite unbelievable. The French phenom managed to rack up a double-double with 33 points on the scoreboard and 12 rebounds. The coolest thing about this is, it seems like he's playing the game on easy mode. Every time he steps on the court, he seems to play almost effortlessly, yet he still somehow manages to wow us with his abilities. Even if we ignore the stat sheet and just look at his performance during the game, it's quite amazing to see how awesome the dude plays. He protects the basket and then runs to the other end to dunk. He sets up the most intricate plays and shoots like he's the next Steph Curry. He has it all. There's like no stopping this dude. Next up, how's the NBA feeling about Wembanyama? The NBA seems to be completely in love with this kid. Almost every coach in the league believes that if LeBron had been a part of this draft, he would have been second behind Wembanyama. That's truly insane to think about. The NBA also continues to stream all of the young prodigy's games. Every time the NBA world sees this kid, they go wild. There was this one play that caught people's eyes. Wembanyama got the ball with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. He was faced with a smaller defender, and for someone of his size, it seemed like the only options were to pass it off. He initially lost his dribble and was forced to backtrack. He managed to regain his footing though, and was able to pull off a few moves, such as going in between the legs and behind his back before pulling up for an insane three-point jumper. He landed a swish and walked away like it was nothing. The craziest thing to think about is the fact that he managed to do all of this in 10 seconds. The man is on fire these days. His last-minute theatrics allowed the Mets to win their 6th game in a row and establish an awesome win streak. We swear, every time we see him play, we get more and more excited by imagining what kind of havoc he'll be able to create in the NBA when he finally does get here. Coming up, how would Wembanyama do in the NBA? The French phenom is truly a one-of-a-kind player. For someone of his size and stature, the pure class with which he manages to outdo his opponents, and that too with such ease. It's truly a pleasure to watch. One fan even tweeted that they would gladly spend their entire afternoon watching this dude's highlights. Wembanyama has not only wowed the NBA's coaches, but he's also got the players going crazy and raving about his abilities too. We feel like when he finally gets to play on US soil, the attendance alone will be insane. So far, he's faced off against the best players in his current league and beaten them to a pulp. It'll be interesting to see what happens when he meets LeBron James, Harden, and Curry on the court. We can imagine a confrontation like that going one of two ways. He's either going to block them like crazy or get destroyed. Though with his current form, we think it'll be the former mixed in with crazy handles and him draining buckets. We wouldn't be surprised if he goes on to win Rookie of the Year in his first season either. He has experience playing pro basketball thanks to the G League Ignite, so he won't feel too out of place when playing against some of the best players in the world in the NBA. Sure, there's a big difference between the level of competitiveness between the G League and the NBA, so it'll be cool to see how he performs. Finally, what does this all mean? We are witnessing a once-in-a-generation kind of player. Wembanyama is like a mix of Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, Curry, and Shaq all poured into one player. There's no one out there who seems to hate this guy. He's being showered with praise, and that too for a good reason. With the kind of performances he's been putting up lately, he deserves all the praise he can get. Of course, you know what they say. Heavy is the crown that layeth on your head. With such huge expectations comes a massive amount of pressure to perform in the NBA. If this kid somehow turns out to be a bust, which is very unlikely by the way, it'll be the biggest story the NBA world has probably ever seen. Though we don't need to worry. It's expected for every new player joining the NBA to have a bit of a rough start when they first join the league. It's always a huge transition when you switch to playing with the big boys for the first time in your life. Every big name in the NBA will be looking to test the kid out and see where he stands in the hierarchy. One thing's for sure, he'll be a starter from day one. With the performances he's been putting up lately, he's not gonna be warming up the bench for anyone. Now, let's check out his rise to the top. First up, let's check out how he managed to get discovered. Imagine this, Paris 4 years ago. Nicolas Batum was walking out from the French men's basketball team practice when something caught his eye. A giant kid, a 14-year-old Wembanyama, was dominating the practice session. He was stupefied by the kid's performance. He was so young and yet so good. Wembanyama wowed Batum as he went ahead and showcased a full offensive game packed with shot blocking and dunks. Batum knew instantly that what he was seeing was the next big thing. everything and immediately called up Tony Parker to let him know that they needed to swoop this kid up ASAP. Fast forward to today, and Wembanyama is the biggest thing since LeBron. He's projected to be the #1 overall pick for the 2023 draft and is slated to be the GOAT with everything that's going on. The entire league is tanking to try and get him to sign for them. Standing 7'4" with a huge wingspan of 8 feet, he's all set to dominate the NBA and destroy any competition that dares to confront him on the court. Next up, what can we expect from Wembanyama in the future? The 18-year-old prodigy is expected to enter the upcoming 2023 NBA draft, and we're so hyped to see him play. Though fans won't have to wait long to see him on US soil, as G League Ignite will be hosting exhibition games in Henderson, Nevada this Tuesday and Thursday night. We're sure the crowd is going to be filled with the biggest names in the NBA, with everyone wanting to see what the French phenom can do. Around 120 to 150 scouts are expected to attend both these exhibitions. One NBA GM told the press that he believes that Wembanyama will further beef up and grow into his frame, despite him already being 210 pounds right now. We guess according to the NBA standards, he can be heavier. Whatever the case is, we sure wouldn't want to be hit by a stray Wembanyama shoulder. The NBA GM went on to compare Wembanyama to the likes of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in terms of how he's such a prime physical specimen. He believes that Wembanyama will grow into a full-blown physical marvel. We're pretty psyched to see everything he can accomplish once he finally joins the NBA. And finally, what does this all mean? We can tell you one thing for sure. When Wembanyama finally does hit the big leagues, it's going to be insane. With all the expectations riding on the kid, there's going to be a lot of pressure, and that kind of thing can be tough for younger athletes. And it'll be interesting to see how he deals with that sort of pressure weighing him down. Though we have a feeling he'll do just fine, considering even now he has 1 million people watching his every move both on and off the court. So there's a high chance that he's already kind of used to the feeling of fans and their expectations. Whatever the case, we're going to see him in action this Tuesday and Thursday night, and fans will be able to catch a glimpse of what's coming to the NBA. We'd say that Victor Wembanyama is about to take the NBA by storm. Well, that's a wrap for this video. Do you think Victor Wembanyama can live up to the hype? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see ya in the next one.